Hello, I'm Hope Logan. I'm an actor on Bold and the Beautiful, and many people really love both me and our Bold and the Beautiful drama. So I've come here to share updates about my beloved Bold and the Beautiful. Everyone, please subscribe and support me. If you do, I will keep coming every day with new updates for you. The world inside the Bold and the Beautiful has been thrown into absolute chaos, and at the center of it all stands a betrayal so shocking that the entire foundation of Forrester Creations has begun to crack beneath the weight of it. The fallout from Hope Logan's devastating decision is rippling through every corner of the company, leaving stunned faces, broken trust, and relationships that may never recover. But perhaps no one has been hit harder than Brooke Logan, who now finds herself forced to confront the heartbreaking reality that the bond she once believed was unbreakable with her daughter may have suffered damage far beyond repair. And while Brooke is drowning in disbelief and emotional devastation, another storm is brewing at Forrester. Because Steffy Forrester is absolutely furious, and the fire of revenge is already beginning to burn inside her. The moment everything came crashing down was impossible to ignore. As Brooke and Steffy watched the live stream from Logan unfold before their eyes, the unimaginable suddenly became reality. There was Hope, standing proudly on stage, taking center spotlight in a move nobody at Forrester Creations saw coming. For Brooke, the shock was immediate and overwhelming. Her face reflected pure disbelief, as though her mind simply refused to accept what she was witnessing. It wasn't just surprise. It was the painful realization that her own daughter had blindsided her in the most public way imaginable. But beside her, Steffy's reaction was entirely different. Where Brooke froze in emotional devastation, Steffy erupted in anger almost instantly, her fury boiling over as she branded Hope exactly what she believed her to be in that moment: a traitor. And once Steffy started talking, there was no stopping her. Almost immediately, she pointed out that this betrayal wasn't exactly coming out of nowhere. Deep down, she admitted, she had sensed that something suspicious was happening with Hope for quite some time. Her instincts had been screaming that something wasn't right, and now the truth had finally revealed itself in spectacular fashion. But Steffy didn't stop there. She quickly reminded everyone around her that Hope had already crossed a dangerous line once before when she attempted to steal control of the company not that long ago. In Steffy's eyes, history was simply repeating itself. Hope had done the unthinkable once, and now she was doing it again, stabbing the Forrester family directly in the back without hesitation. While Steffy unleashed all of her fury, Brooke was operating on pure emotion, moving almost recklessly as she rushed straight over to Logan with only one objective in mind. She needed answers, and more importantly, she needed to confront Katie Logan immediately. Somewhere deep inside, Brooke still believed this nightmare could somehow be reversed. She was desperate to drag Hope back to Forrester Creations and undo the damage before it became permanent. But even as Brooke stormed in with demands, accusations, and emotions spiraling dangerously out of control, the reality of the situation had already changed forever. Hope had made her choice. And despite Brooke's increasingly desperate attempts to fix things, it had become painfully obvious that Hope wasn't planning to return to Forrester anytime soon. In fact, she may never return at all. And the truth is, even if Hope suddenly changed her mind, there may not be a place waiting for her anymore. At this point, Ridge Forrester and Steffy have every reason not to welcome her back after such a humiliating and public betrayal. Hope didn't simply resign or walk away honestly. Instead, she lied directly to their faces, hid behind a fake leave of absence, and secretly worked alongside Katie behind closed doors while pretending everything was normal. The deception itself has done almost as much damage as the betrayal. The trust inside Forrester Creations has been shattered, and the consequences are already spiraling into something much bigger than anyone anticipated. This wasn't just a personal betrayal. It has now become a full-scale corporate disaster.
The timing could not possibly have been worse.
Ridge and Steffi had been preparing to launch Eric Forrester's highly anticipated new couture line, a project carrying enormous emotional significance and massive financial investment. But thanks to Katie's perfectly timed move, unveiling Hope for Logan right before their own launch, everything has now been thrown into chaos. The excitement surrounding Eric's collection has completely vanished beneath the shadow of this shocking betrayal. Suddenly, the launch can no longer move forward as planned. Eric's line has effectively been shelved, and with it, a huge stream of expected sales has disappeared overnight. Carter Walton wasted no time making the financial reality painfully clear to the family. Producing Eric's couture collection required an enormous investment, and now with the launch indefinitely delayed, the company is facing serious consequences that nobody can afford to ignore. And standing in the middle of all this destruction is Hope, the person Steffi now sees as directly responsible for everything unraveling. Brooke may be furious at Katie for orchestrating the move, but there is no denying the betrayal she feels toward her own daughter as well. The emotional pain cuts deeper because this isn't simply business. This is family. Yet, despite all their anger, both Brooke and Steffi are facing an uncomfortable truth. There may be very little they can do to strike back directly at Logan as a company. Publicly attacking Logan to the fashion media would likely backfire spectacularly, making them look bitter and defeated rather than powerful. No. If revenge is coming, it may have to be far more personal. And that is where things become even more dangerous. Because Steffi understands exactly where Hope is most vulnerable right now. The deepest wound in Hope's life at this moment is the fracture growing between her and Brooke. Brooke is still convincing herself that Katie manipulated Hope, stole her away, and somehow orchestrated all of this behind the scenes. But very soon, Brooke is about to learn a painful truth she is not prepared for. Hope isn't being manipulated. Hope chose this for herself. And when Hope finally tells Brooke that she intends to stay at Logan permanently, the emotional devastation Brooke feels may become impossible to repair. What makes everything even more heartbreaking is that the warning signs were already there, hidden in recent events nobody fully understood at the time. Not long before this betrayal exploded into public view, subtle tension had already been building between Brooke and Steffi in ways that now feel deeply significant. Hope had been pushing Brooke hard, trying desperately to convince her mother to take Steffi's position as co-CEO. It was a move clearly designed to push the balance of power in Hope's favor. But Brooke surprised everyone by refusing. She simply could not bring herself to betray Ridge that way. Instead, Brooke did something Hope never expected. She reached out to Steffi and sent her an incredibly warm, supportive text, praising how well she was handling the role as co-CEO. That single moment changed everything. Hope was furious. The anger simmering inside her after Brooke sided with Steffi instead of supporting her own daughter became the emotional tipping point that pushed her toward Logan. Looking back now, that may have been the exact moment Hope mentally walked away from Forrester forever. The resentment had been building quietly beneath the surface, and once Brooke chose loyalty to Ridge and support for Steffi, Hope made a choice of her own. She crossed the line, signed that contract at Logan, and set in motion the chain reaction that has now left everyone emotionally shattered. Ironically, the very betrayal meant to divide people may now create an entirely unexpected alliance. There is a growing possibility that Brooke and Steffi, two women who have often found themselves on opposite sides, may now begin bonding in ways nobody saw coming. Brooke feels wounded on an intensely personal level by both Hope and Katie. The people closest to her have left her feeling abandoned and deceived. Meanwhile, Steffy sees Hope's actions as a betrayal not only of the company, but of the entire Forrester family legacy itself. Suddenly, both women are united by the same anger, the same disappointment, and the same sense of being betrayed by Hope Logan. And when looking back, Steffy may have already suspected far more than anyone realized. Before the truth came out, Steffy openly admitted she sensed Hope was hiding something important. It suddenly explains behavior that seemed strange at the time, including the surprising moment when Steffy announced they were relaunching Hope's line. Even stranger was the unexpected hug Steffy gave Hope recently, something that felt unusually warm considering their complicated history. Looking back now, it almost feels like Steffy was testing her, as though she sensed deception in the air and was desperately trying to force the truth out through instinct alone. She knew something was wrong. She just had no idea how massive the betrayal would actually be. Now Hope is scrambling to repair the damage with Brooke, but everyone watching knows the effort is doomed from the start. Official spoilers confirm that when mother and daughter clash in the aftermath, tensions will spiral until Brooke finally reaches an emotional breaking point. And to make matters even worse, Liam Spencer has already stepped in and offered Hope a place to stay at the Spencer mansion, an offer she immediately accepted. To Brooke, this changes everything. It now feels as though Hope isn't simply leaving her professionally, she is abandoning her personally too. Hope is walking away from their workplace, their family dynamic, and even their home life all at once. Brooke is losing her daughter on every front imaginable. While Ridge may secretly feel relieved not having Hope around the house anymore, the emotional wounds for Brooke are only deepening. And neither Brooke nor Steffy are likely to react well seeing just how happy Hope seems at Logan while chaos consumes Forrester Creations. Very soon, Brooke will return and deliver the final, devastating news to the Forresters. Hope is not coming back. She has chosen Logan, and she intends to stay there. The moment Brooke says those words, she will likely receive immediate support from Ridge, Eric, and perhaps most significantly, Steffy. And in that shared frustration and heartbreak, an entirely new relationship may begin forming between Brooke and Steffy. In fact, things may go even further than simple emotional support. There is a very real possibility that Steffy begins intentionally getting closer to Brooke for reasons far more strategic than emotional comfort. Because Steffy understands exactly how painful it would be for Hope to watch her own mother growing increasingly close to someone she considers her biggest rival. Imagine Hope seeing Brooke emotionally replace her with Steffy, a stepdaughter filling the space left behind by the daughter who walked away. It would be devastating. And suddenly, the long-standing rivalry between Hope and Steffy has returned stronger than ever before. Only this time, it is no longer centered around Liam Spencer like it so often has been in the past. Now the battle is far more personal. It is about family loyalty, business power, and perhaps even Brooke herself. Inside Steffy's mind, Hope has crossed a line that can never be uncrossed. She isn't simply competition anymore. To Steffy, Hope is now the ultimate traitor. Someone who lied, deceived, manipulated, and betrayed everyone around her without hesitation. And Steffy has never been someone who forgets betrayal, which means retaliation is almost certainly coming. And perhaps the most brutal revenge imaginable would be exactly what Hope fears most. Steffy building an incredibly close bond with Brooke, and then forcing Hope to watch it happen publicly every chance she gets. The perfect opportunity may arrive the moment Forrester Creations finally launches Eric's delayed couture line. Picture the scene unfolding with cameras flashing, excitement filling the room, the company finally reclaiming the spotlight after weeks of chaos. Steffy takes center stage and begins thanking Eric for his brilliance and vision. Then suddenly, she invites Brooke onto the stage beside her. In front of everyone watching, Steffi wraps an arm around Brooke and begins speaking passionately about family, loyalty, and the importance of standing beside the people who never betray you. She publicly praises Brooke, making it clear how deeply important Brooke has become to her. And somewhere watching that live stream, Hope feels every word like a knife twisting deeper.
Even Taylor Hayes might notice what is happening and feel slightly uncomfortable watching Steffi getting so close to Brooke. But with Taylor occupied by Deacon Sharp and experienced enough to recognize when Steffi is playing psychological games, she may simply observe quietly from the sidelines. But none of that matters compared to what Hope would feel watching the entire moment unfold. The pain would mirror exactly what Brooke experienced when she first saw Hope standing proudly beside Katie during Logan's shocking launch. The same public humiliation, the same emotional devastation, the same unbearable sense of loss. Katie may attempt to reassure Hope afterward, telling her that Brooke will eventually calm down and repair their relationship with time. She may insist everything will smooth over eventually. But the truth is far more complicated. Brooke is deeply wounded now, and that hurt is quickly transforming into resentment. Instead of rushing to forgive Hope, Brooke may actually lean into the pain, deliberately showing her daughter exactly what she gave up. And for Hope, watching her mother willingly move closer to Steffi could become a punishment far more painful than she ever anticipated. Meanwhile, the competition between Logan and Forrester Creations is about to become absolutely vicious. The rivalry is no longer simply business competition in the fashion world. It has become intensely personal. Steffi and Brooke may now find themselves actively working together, determined to outperform Logan at every possible turn. They may become fully committed to proving to Katie that Forrester Creations remains the superior force, no matter what betrayal has taken place. There is even a possibility Steffi proposes something incredibly symbolic, completely revamping Hope's old fashion line and rebuilding it into something entirely new that she and Brooke oversee together, effectively erasing Hope's legacy and replacing it with their own partnership. And if tensions weren't already explosive enough, things between Katie and Brooke are spiraling toward outright warfare. Their conflict is escalating so dramatically that this week, viewers are about to witness a full physical confrontation between the sisters. And to be completely fair, Brooke is the one who starts it. The anger has reached a point where words are no longer enough. But that fight is only the beginning. The emotional destruction spreading through these families has only just started, and the worst may still be ahead. Relationships are fracturing beyond repair, trust is disappearing, and the wounds being created now may permanently alter these family dynamics forever. And while Brooke remains overwhelmingly furious at Katie for orchestrating this betrayal, there is absolutely no question that she is equally disappointed in Hope. The refusal to return to Forrester Creations cuts deeply, confirming every fear Brooke had about losing her daughter emotionally. She is heartbroken, angry, abandoned, and deeply wounded all at once. And standing nearby through all of this is Steffi, someone who may initially move closer to Brooke out of genuine concern and shared frustration. But the moment Steffi realizes this new closeness gives her the perfect weapon to strike back at Hope, she may seize that opportunity without hesitation. Because in the dangerous emotional battlefield now unfolding inside the Bold and the Beautiful, revenge is no longer just possible. It feels inevitable. And if Steffi Forrester decides to make Hope Logan pay for this betrayal, there may be absolutely no limit to how far she is willing to go. The war has begun. Alliances are shifting. Family bonds are breaking. And when the dust finally settles, nothing inside these powerful families may ever be the same again.